so we may not be able to live cast this, but close to it, you can look at it. Let me give you a few things. Come on down here and we'll look at how the cable went in. And those that work, this turned out to be a recovery, because if you look, the height of these weeds are up to my chest and the box is down below. We used GPS to land to come here. And as you can see, here is the box of dirt. It made it, and the strings are cut in a little bit. The chip bag, if you want to zoom in before we lift it up, chip bag blew up, so we're really hoping it was on the video to get it. And if you look at the string, we'll go ahead and focus right here, you can see it, is that we got a lot of twisting, which means things were getting tangled up a little bit. If you look down here, we had a lot of twisting too, which tells us it was kind of turbulent on the way up. And you can see as we lay out all the way across here that we hit that box first, wind carried it and we went on around. Now up here at this end, this is the part that's kind of interesting to look at, is that usually we only get maybe that much of a balloon. We don't often get this much of a balloon. And oh my gosh, that's a lot of balloon that we had left. And this tells me a couple things, is that we only got up to about 15,000 meters, call it about 45,000 feet, which is much, much lower than we usually get. But I think part of the problem was, and this is a real problem, is that when we went up, is that our balloon was going up through the ice, and we could have gotten some ice formation on it, kept it from expanding, or some sharp edges of the ice that could have popped it. So launching in a cloudy condition, extreme, very well could have resulted in an early burst of landing. And this looks like it may have, because it didn't really shred. Usually if we see the remnants, it's like filaments or threads coming off of here. This looks like it just kind of split, which could have been tied to ice. So you can see there, it comes down, parachute, all the rest. We're going to open this all up here. Actually going to cut the string so we can carry it out. It came in about a half mile, I think. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. We had to hike in a half mile in the cold, in the snow, in the ice, and again, just trying to get it down here to where we could see things. So now one of the things about this is the flight didn't go as high as we'd like, and the reality is this is a thing as we deal with technology and human design devices, is that things don't always work the way you are, because once you design a system, you hope it does, but it's not due to the real test. So launching in a cloud where it was freezing already, I think led to some of this early bursting, but that happened, and that kind of goes along. Now, we also had some problems with the radio signal at the beginning, because we told you we used the radio to track the flight and get it. Well, one of the things that may be a question for you and your students to explore is, how do the atmospheric conditions affect radio? Now, we did get the radio later in the flight, and it helped us predict about where we were going to go and know when it burst and all that. But you want to look at that. It's radio transmission in the atmosphere, and it might be an interesting thing to look at and explore. In this case, we relied on the spot trackers that we had in the tracking box and the other one in the other box. And the spot is what gave us the final GPS coordinates. And we got here by using the GPS on a cell phone. And as a backup, we had brought a regular GPS unit, which we both ended up at the same point at the same time. But this doesn't rely on a cell signal. Not every cell phone uses a GPS signal from the satellite. Some rely on cell towers. And out here, it's hard to tell if we have a cell tower or not, but we think we probably did get cell reception. But always carry a GPS unit to do it. So this is it. Kind of an exciting landing and one of our more difficult chases. You can see how red we are, still wearing our face masks because we're walking around, and it's cold and windy. But we're going to get it in. We'll get the data out of these. As we open them up, we'll take pictures so you can see what things look like inside. But we're not going to open them up out here. We're going to get off this property because we don't want to be a target for bullets or anything. We're going to get off the property, get back out to the vehicle.